Oh man, we live, brother, and I'm gonna just say first that I'm glad, brother, you were out the hospital. I see you got a
Yeah.
new haircut. I'm not sure if that was by choice or whatever, but I don't normally you keep a little bit of hair on your head.
It's by
It's
force.
by force.
It was by force, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. But hey, a brother, we could wear our head bald. It don't look bad on us, So
Right.
it,
Right.
it's all good, man. But if there's anybody out there and they're watching right now, in case you haven't been to my channel or you just kind of stumbling upon this live, it is going to be recorded, and I know it's going to take a while probably for some people to come through. But so I'll say it a couple more times. But this is Darren with Buckner Family Travels. We are a new page, and on our page, what we do is we talk about my wife, my son, and my two dogs, Tank and Lucy, and our mission to get to South Africa in summer 2023. So, if you want to know some of the ups and downs and what it is like for African American to actually be able to do that, then make sure you come to this channel. Make sure you stick around. And hey, you can like, you can subscribe. Heck, I don't care if you just subscribe and then you watch every once in a while. Just go ahead and subscribe. And it's fine. You can like, you can even dislike. Just give us some algorithms. Let's get this thing going so people continue to watch and we can get enough viewers to make sure that people stick around because we're giving good content. I'm giving real stuff. I'm not really trying to give you some fake, some show. And matter of fact, even this right now, this is my brother and I, and we just come on. We just decided to do it. I was like, you know what? I see they got YouTube Live and beta testing stage. So I said, you know what? Let's give it a try. And
Yeah.
for anybody who's watched my previous video or you know that my brother was in the hospital. I'll let him tell you what he's dealing with, but I guess it's just gonna be a quick follow up because I was just glad to talk to him, glad to see him out the hospital, glad to see he looks good and don't look like some brother who been going through anything. So Courtney, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Let the folks know where you are. I already told them you're 10 years younger than me, so you can tell them how old you are and your thoughts about the Buckner family travel because you're a Buckner. What's up?
Well, first of all, my name is Courtney.
My name is Courtney.
I'm Darren's younger brother.
Darren's younger brother.
41 years of age.
41 years of age.
I live in here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I just recently
got out of the hospital.
Dealing with a cancer
bout.
It's still not over
for me.
But I knocked out a big portion of a health part to remove a chest piece off the table to allow me to beat the cancer altogether. And basically I got a bone marrow transplant done, and I just got out this
past Tuesday.
And I'm feeling so much better.
Well, you look better.
No pain right now. Yeah.
You look better. I know you were in pain like crazy because when I would come back and forth to Atlanta since I moved to Florida, you man, it was hard to watch you some days, bro. I was like, damn, man, it was hurt my feelings, bro, to sit there and watch you.
Yeah.
It
is what it is.
You
gotta deal with it. It's like it's so funny. You watch all these commercials on TV, and they tell you, people with cancer and the Cancer Society and cancer does this and does that. But don't nobody tell you about the pain. The pain part, man. That's just another level. And it was bad for me because just so people know, I keep it real brief. I have a rare form of a bone cancer, where it started in my spine, spread to my ribs, and down to some of my pelvic bone. And what it did is it ate up the bone marrow. And you just like you break the chicken bone open, and you see that dark stuff in the middle. That's the marrow. And if you don't have the marrow, the bone is weak. It's easier. Like you see a dog, they take a bone and they chew it up right quick. They suck the marrow out, and chew it up, nothing for them to eat the bone. So that's what I was dealing with. And it was worse because just recently at the beginning of November, I fractured a rib right here under my arm.
Mm-hmm.
Just reaching down and picking myself up from I had a dropped the remote up under the bed. Snapped the rib. I could hear it pop.
Wow.
At the time I didn't know what it was.
Right.
So I had to wind up going to the ER a few days later because I was just in so much pain and I was having spasms. They did an X-ray and they said, Mr. Buckner, you fractured a rib? No. Like, is that what's going on?
And that was literally just from reaching. That was just from reaching down, grabbing the remote off the floor.
Well, it wasn't that part. It was when I pushed myself. It was right up under the bed. You know, I had my right hand on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you bend over, you don't always want to use your back to just stand straight up. So I pushed myself up on the bed, and I felt the pop. And it was just that quick. And then what made me going to the hospital was I was having spasms. I was having spasms like on the same side where the ribs was broken and in my back, in the middle of my back. And they took X-rays and told me that you have a lesion, a cancerous lesion on your back. Can you explain that? And I told them what I was going through. And they say the best bet for you is just to stick with the bone marrow transplant like you're doing. Here's some pills for pain. Here's some lidocaine patches. And good luck to you. And it got worse the week after that. It got worse Thanksgiving weekend. I couldn't pick up my daughter.
Okay, before we even get into that, Courtney, first of all, what is the actual name of this form of cancer? So people know.
It's called multiple myeloma.
Okay. And who does it affect? Who does it affect the most? And if you know why is that?
Well, they said it's a rare bone cancer that African American men and some Hispanic and Latino men catch, and usually in the ages of 65 and up. So I just happen to be a one-off because we don't have cancer on either side of our family.
Right. That's true.
I just lucked up, and I think a lot of it honestly is from stress because what they told me is I overproduce proteins. So back here in the back of your head, like where your medulla oblongata is. I don't know if I said it right. But you produce blood. The blood filters down your spine, red and white blood cells, into your waist. It goes into the rest of your bloodstream. Well, I was producing too many proteins. And the proteins was eating up the bone marrow because they were cancerous. And then they spread to my kidneys. And that's what almost caused my kidneys to fail and forced me into the hospital last year.
And that's when that's when I actually was pretty much forced to go to the hospital. I remember because I was remember being really concerned. I'm like, you usually the brute strength guy, all extra picking up the heavy stuff because I'm 10 years older than you. So I kind of leave that up to you. And then I'll never forget. I remember you dropped the vanity. I was like, man, how you drop that vanity, bro?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I remember.
Something wrong. Are you on? How you that tired? I'm like, that don't make no sense. And I remember, I think it was crazy because we were doing a roof on one of my houses, right?
Yeah.
And I remember you started bringing up shingles because it was a tall ladder. I think we had like a 30-foot ladder up there, maybe a 28 or 30-foot ladder up there. And
like 32 feet, something like that.
Yeah, and you were having a hard time, which is not something. Normally, it's hard for anybody to bring those 100-pound bags of shingles up on the roof. But normally you could bring them up and it wouldn't be like hurting you like that. But I remember I think you might have brought up maybe 4, 5, or 6 bundles and you were like done. And I was just like, man, something's up. And then I think the next day, is it the following day? I think you went to go see a doctor, or is that what it was?
No.
Or maybe you went to go see the doctor a day or two before that.
I know what actually happened. I went home and laid down for a week. And I told you that my back was bothering. And of course, after going to the doctor, he was like, maybe you need to see a doctor. I went to the doctor, and they were like doing tests. Worried about the weight loss. Like that. I lost 40 pounds. I lost 40 pounds from in like a month. In like a month.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember it looked like you start shrinking.
Yeah.
I was like, man, what the hell's going on? And then I think it was between Tracy and I. And in case, you know, anybody watching this video, again, this is Darren with Buckner Family Travels. And if you guys didn't know, this is my brother, Courtney, I'm on with. We're just trying out the live. We want to see what it was like. And I did a video, and I was talking about how hard it is to move to South Africa or anywhere, and how sometimes it's just really difficult to move. And you're thinking, you know, everything going to be good. And there's always something coming up, whether it be illness. In this case, it happened to be my baby bro, my main man, my best friend. And next thing you know, we talking about multiple myeloma from a 40-year-old man. And like you said, Courtney, how old you normally are when people have multiple myeloma?
Man, you gotta be like, they said they normally see it in 70-year-old.
Wow. And like you said, it's mainly black men and Hispanic men.
Yeah, that's for real.
Yeah, and it's related a lot to stress. This is real deep. So again, if you are watching this video and you've never been on our channel before, this is Buckner Family Travels. And I don't want to just talk about just me going to the continent of Africa, because it is more than that. It talks about us and family and what we have to go through when we're trying to get to the continent, or when we're trying to get to anywhere. In some cases, just trying to move down the street. We got to think about family. We got our children. We got brothers out here got child support and be losing their passports even. You know, we've heard of that. I think, Courtney, you had something like that happen to you one time. So so we hear about all this stuff. So there's so many obstacles that we go through. People got bad credit. People be like, oh man, I don't know what to do. I ain't got no money. They need income streams. Because Courtney, you've been talking about moving to Africa for a long time now. You've been talking about it. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you were supposed to hit the continent even before I did. And then I think we go through stuff. And then some stuff came up.
Child support.
And what was that happened to stop you from going to Nigeria? What was that stopped you again?
Child support. I was too far behind.
And how far behind is too far? How far behind is too far behind?
All you got to be is $2,500 or more.
$2,500, and they'll take your whole passport. So they can stop your life for $2,500.
They put the cuffs on you. Like you couldn't go nowhere. They took it and said you have to pay all of the arrears if you want your passport. I had less than 90 days to do it. And then it didn't help that my passport was like 5 or 6 months from being expired because Nigeria, you had to be 6 months out.
Yeah, and I think they do that because I think all the restrictions that the United States tends to put on Nigeria, so they give it back in turn. Yo, you do this to us, well, we do the same thing. And it's funny that we even mentioned that because, say that one more time?
They call them reciprocity tables at the State Department.
You know what? And actually, to be honest with you, I'm kind of glad they get to do that kind of stuff because you know what? That shows that Africans on the continent can have power. It's just that they need to use it. Now, I hate we got to fall in the middle as African Americans, but you know, hey, you know, I'd rather us have some power, and we'll figure out our way there if we really want to get there. Again, if you just getting on, and I know I only got a couple people on, I don't have a whole lot of followers, but we talk about raw, real stuff. We talk about the Buckner Family Travels. Again, it's my son, brother Malcolm, as they call him, my wife, Rochelle, and our 2 dogs. And we're on our mission to head to South Africa. I'm currently in Florida, in Destin, Florida. And my brother is in Atlanta, Georgia. And right now going through some treatments, which has been a big deal for me. And my wife, she just got back from New York just yesterday, late last night, working with her dad because her dad hasn't been well. These are just some of the things that we go through when you're talking about leaving the continent and going someplace else. And I'm sure there's some, you know, even a couple people that are watching, I'm sure you can relate to this or relate to something like this, even if we're just moving down the street. I mean, it's crazy, but we have to think about these things, and we got to encourage one another and keep one another going, because my brother, even though what he's going through, he pushing me and proud and want me to keep pushing my mission. Courtney, why is that, man? Why are you so geeked about your brother leaving the States?
Man.
I
mean, why are you geeked about your brother leaving?
Not only is it just like it's just a big thing for our family, or just a big thing in our community, period. But I think the biggest thing for me is, man, you definitely want to get your son out here.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I look at I listen to your other nephew, DeAndre. He looks at my situation and he be like, damn.
Yeah.
And he's going through it now.
Yeah.
Dealing with the wrong
and when you say going through it, oh, so you're saying going through a lot of typical brother problems, it seems like, when you're in the States. It don't matter if you're educated. Because Courtney, you went to college, you did all the right things, played basketball in college and all that. And I remember one time, man. You remember that time you talked about how many tickets you got in a week or something like that?
Shoot, we in high school.
Or was it a month?
Shit, man. What the hell? I remember in high school, I got pulled over 4 times in 1 week.
For what?
Hell, because I drove a Cutlass Supreme.
And see, a lot of our South African brothers and sisters and brothers from Nigeria, brothers from Kenya, brothers from Uganda, it don't matter where. If you go on the continent, I'm not saying they don't have issues, but one thing they ain't got to worry about is getting pulled over is just because they black. And for the brothers and sisters that don't know on the continent, we had a whole thing. I think we called it driving while black.
Hell yeah.
They just remember they had the big article in Ebony magazine back in the day talking about driving while black, the worst cities. I see a few people on, so make sure y'all press the like button because we're trying to get the algorithm up. We're going to make Buckner Family Travels blow up because we don't just talk about actual travel and trying to show you the luxurious side. We reach out to the real people that have real issues, real problems, and want to move for real, but they ain't got $1 million to just up and move. I know I don't, but I'm going to make this happen. And if you're watching this, it's probably because you're interested in making something like this happen too. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, Buckner Family Travels. But yeah, man, so we run into so many things, like you say, getting tickets. And a lot of brothers run into this same type of stuff. Child support, tickets, money, IRS, can barely keep a roof over their head right here. And then you got to deal with something like multiple myeloma, which mainly affects African-American men. I mean, of all things to come and hit you, that is absolutely insane. I mean, like you said, you had to get a haircut. You weren't even looking to get. You normally have your hair hidden at the shop, but I guess you can cut that yourself now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I can do.
Yeah, and I'm glad you can laugh about it, bro. I'm glad you can laugh about it, and I'm glad because overall you have been taking this really well. You better than I am. I think God sometimes, we not to say he not a really what do you call it? How do they say? He's no something of persons. He doesn't discriminate.
Yeah, he doesn't discriminate. He ain't find the pretty. He ain't particular about pretty. He ain't find pretty. He don't like ugly. He don't find cute either. Stuff like that.
And so basically, it don't matter. It don't matter who you are.
You don't discriminate.
Yes, situations can arise and situations will arise. But again, without challenges, there will be no growth. I mean, because I'm sure even in this challenge right here, I think about you and I doing all the construction work we do, the building, taking nothing from the ground and making something out of it, taking these houses, these worst houses on the block, gutting them out completely and making them look beautiful. Sometimes, man, it makes you think about all those chemicals you're breathing in. It makes you think about, man, what did I do? But I thought about that and I was like, but wait a minute. I said, I was teaching my brother construction and I've been in the same houses in all these years. And that's how I say it doesn't really matter who you are. Sometimes it just works out that way. And it prevents us from getting a lot of things done. But one thing I've seen about you is your character has changed, bro, over the last year.
Yeah.
dramatically. And I mean, not bad or anything like that. It's just your character has changed, man. You've become first of all, you become more humble because good looking brothers like us, y'all already know. I know y'all can say we good looking brother. My brother cut his hair, bald and everything. See mine, I keep mine low. It's all great. But we know we good looking brothers. I mean, ain't no secret. We at this age, we found out by now that we some pretty good looking brothers. So I mean, and the sisters like it when you're 6'4" and you're 200 some odd pounds. It kind of works in your favor. Am I right, Courtney, or am I right?
It's worked out for me for a while.
But
I ain't gonna lie.
right, but I'm saying even your character, it's made you more humble. You're more appreciative of not being in pain right now because you've been in pain all this time. And you were talking to me like, man, I'm just so thankful. When you was talking to my wife earlier, you was like, I'm just so thankful to not be in no pain. Man. And I mean, you said that with like,
bro, that part alone.
That part alone.
Man, because I didn't. It got so bad. I've never been a weed smoker. And I can't believe that I had to start smoking weed to get rid of pain. Because it worked. But it only worked for like
2 weeks.
It was over.
Wow.
It was just like I don't know what to do.
Wow.
It got to the point where I was like I didn't care what I took to get rid of the pain. I was taking THC gummies, drinking beer, sipping alcohol, popping oxycodone pills, just so I could go to
sleep. I guess I can ask you this question, Courtney. We come from a family that we got dope things in our family. I mean, we've had dope things in our family. I can't say so much now, but our dad, I'm gonna put this out there. My brother, we have no problem talking about it because we ain't embarrassed by what my daddy did. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be embarrassed by what he did. And I know I'm not the only one. I know my brother, we're not the only ones out here that had to experience a daddy on crack or uncle on crack or auntie on crack and all that kind of stuff, or heroin or what all that kind of good stuff. The Black community, we have a lot of issues with that, at least in America. Not saying other communities don't, because they do, but because I'm focused on Black people, I only can speak for Black people. But what I wanted to say, Courtney, with all that pain you were dealing with multiple myeloma, I guess you can actually see how somebody, if they're in constant pain, how they can get addicted to this stuff.
Oh hell yeah. Oh man. Easy. It's too easy. My doctor told me. She was like, well, the only thing I can do at this point, Mr. Buckner, is just prescribe you opioids. And I was like, hell no. I said, I just do weed. And I called my cousin.
Yeah, we always got a cousin to help you out. We got a cousin to help anybody out. I ain't gonna give out his name because we don't want to go to jail, but.
No, he should forever remain nameless. But I hit him up.
Right.
I told him, I was like, man, look, I got 40 bucks. I don't even know how to roll a blunt. Just give me something to get me through the week. I even
and of course he love you and he understand. And of course he an avid weed smoker anyway. So of course that part didn't bother him anyway. But he understood and he knew you weren't a weed smoker. Just like me, I'm not a weed smoker. I still ain't never smoked a joint in my life. I've taken a couple gummies and stuff like that, but I ain't never really wanted to sit around and smoke weed and stuff like that. When you was telling me you had to smoke weed, I was like, dude, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. I mean, it's actually stupid when you look back on it that they will make it illegal even for somebody like you.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. That's why I'm thinking about moving back to Missouri now. Just in case. I'll be able to get a marijuana card if I need to.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling of smoke all in your chest. I don't care for that. I'm not that. I don't smoke cigarettes or anything.
Right.
But at that time, I needed the release so bad. And we, matter of fact, depending on what kind it was, it'll give me some relief in like 10 minutes. It was real.
It was real. Hey, thank you, Michael. We are trying to promote positive things. That was a brother just popped in on the chat, and we appreciate you, Michael, and thanks for liking. I hope you subscribe and make sure you comment on all my other videos if you can. Give us a like and just check us out. Appreciate you, brother. But Courtney, I do want to ask you that because remember, again, this is a channel that we want to talk about. We talk about Africa. We talk about Buckner Family Travels. That's another thing. I almost about to talk about that. I almost named the company or my page something with the word Africa in it because I say Buckner Family Travels. But as a Black man that has grown up probably a little more conscious than others, being our dad was a follower of Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And when he liked Dr. King and all that, he thought, we should overcome, but we need to overcome with Black people. I remember that plain as day.
Overcome with guns.
That's right. You overcome with a gun because freedom ain't free, he said. But I remember talking about Buckner Family Travels, like I was saying, it's even though I might go to London or something like that, or I'm not really jumping up and down about going to some European country. Now, I'm not going to say I don't understand when people from Africa or other countries want to come see because, to be honest, just like even you and I, we've been sold the American dream. But it's like you keep on reaching for that American dream, and it's like you're just always a little bit short. You're always a little bit short. Even when you make it, you kind of didn't make it. Now, you do have some people who call themselves making it because they got a nice fancy car with a high-ass car note, or they got a house that they can't enjoy because they always at work. They at work more than they are at the house. And I think Dr. Claude Anderson talked about how you got I think it was Dick Gregory. He said you got how many hours a day? 24. He said, how many hours you sleep? He said 8.
Yeah.
How many hours you go to work? 8. He said, so you mean to tell me you got 8 hours to try and mingle with your family and friends, to make food, to eat dinner together, break bread. He said to call your mama, to wash your laundry, to wash your behind. And he just went on and on. And then he said, that's sleep deprivation right there. He said, you can't even function properly. He said, and then mentally, if all you're doing is working and then you come home and go to sleep, guess what you are, Courtney? You tell me what that is.
Slave.
I mean, I'm just keeping it real. So a lot of people, I notice on the continent, they'll ask me questions and stuff, man, why you want to move here, man, instead of America? I'm not saying that they can't have a hard time in different parts of Africa, but I can say as an African American, I'm not going to sit here and deny my privilege when I'm in other countries because I be lying, and I don't want to fake the funk and act like, I ain't got it going on. The truth of the matter is, Courtney, I told you when I was in South Africa, when I was in Uganda, wherever I was at, I said, man, I felt privileged like I never felt before. I didn't even know what that felt like. When I go to this really nice 5-star restaurant and it's people sitting outside kind of waiting, and I go up and I say, my name, whatever, just trying to get a table, and then they was like, you from America? I said, yeah. You Black American? I said, yeah. And they said, don't worry, we find a table for you. I'm gonna find you a good one. We're gonna find you one right away. Man, that tripped me out. I ain't never been treated like that, dude.
Damn, must be nice.
Hey, dude, I remember when we went to go look at a penthouse I think it was in Sanson. No, that was in Rosebank. It was a high-rise penthouse, man. How come the white dude begging me to come? And then as he gets to showing me around, well, let me show you another one. And I'm like, we trying to go. That was on the last day we were there. And we trying to go. And he want to show me around the penthouse, like damn near holding our hand, bro. I mean, here, I might not even be able to get in the average penthouse. They ain't even gonna recommend that I even look at it. It don't really matter what city it's in. You got to darn it, you got to set an appointment to come see this penthouse. And then don't let it be some white dude who got to show it to you because he's going to be hesitant. He's going to start asking you about your finances. Well, what do you guys do? I remember one guy told me one time, I went to go look at something in LA. He said, so do you play basketball? And I'm like, I didn't even give him the look. Actually, Courtney, to be honest, I played him. I said, yeah, I play for the Houston Rockets. I said, man, listen to this nonsense. And then they go, oh, well, you'll come on in. Well, you'll love this place. But when I was in South Africa, it wasn't none of that. He didn't ask me what I did. He didn't ask me. I had an American accent as a black man from America. He must have the money. He wouldn't even ask to see this penthouse if he didn't have the money.
Wow.
The truth is, yeah, I did have the money. And I have the money to buy that penthouse. But again, that's that privilege again that a lot of Black Americans don't understand. When you go to the continent of Africa, the ones who are there, they know. I'm just being honest here. I'm not trying to brag or act like, we all that, because I've been in America and I felt like a slave for the most part all my life. I ain't never had a job and still feel like one, because anytime they can tell me, oh, we don't sell N-words, glass block. That's another story, guys. I used to have a big glass block company in Detroit. You remember that, huh, Courtney?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Or when they wouldn't extend me credit, but yet and still my competitor, who was a white guy and wasn't doing near as well as us. Near as well. Matter of fact, he was a dope fiend. You remember that, Courtney? He was a dope fiend. And hey, how you doing, Paul? Thanks for tuning in, and make sure you like and subscribe. But he was a dope fiend, and they would give him $20,000 worth of glass block on one truck. Matter of fact, I remember how much it cost. A trailer load was $22,000. He'll get it on credit. And I remember we had a contract in place for the city of Highland Park to do, I think it was we had to do their rec center or something like that. I remember they had them super tall windows, and we had the contract in hand. We up here working on the windows, and he wanted to piecemeal us the glass, and he'd want to come over and inspect to see that we actually did it. I'm like, all this, and I'm killing this other guy business-wise. We're killing him, buying way more block than him, doing way more jobs, getting no complaints. We got the TV commercials on. We doing glass block shots of the game for the Pistons. It didn't matter what we did and how well we did it. We had to stay up under the thumb of him. What they say, he put his knee on our neck. Ain't that what they say?
Yeah, sure do.
And Courtney, you've been out and you've traveled across the country and different places in the world, and you haven't been to Africa yet. So let me ask you this, because I don't want to keep this video too long. Let me ask you, dealing with this diagnosis, what are you going to do? And I'm talking about when this is said and done. If you don't know, that's cool. Just tell me, because you and I've never asked you this question before. So I'm asking you this live right now, because I know I'm gonna be there, and I know you. I'm sure you'll definitely come visit if nothing else. But have you thought about what it is you're going to do now that you have this diagnosis? And I'm planning, once you beat it, do you know what you're gonna do?
Actually, yes. I had my first post visit. At the hospital today. So I was telling the nurse practitioner that I have, and I told her the same thing that I told my hematologist up at the hospital in Duluth. I told her, I said, look, I don't plan on living with this shit for the rest of my life. So for me, I look at our diet here in the U.S. Stress levels. Those two alone for me. I've already made up in my mind that I have to get out of America at least by 50. I can't retire here. I'll die. I'll die.
Wow.
Remember, we did research on the Buckner men in our family that came before us.
Yeah.
Our dad died at 54.
Yep.
I forget when Grandpa Joe died.
Well, Grandpa Joe, he lived a little longer. He was about 75, something like that. But all the other Buckner men, all in their early 50s. All of them.
One of them didn't even make it to 50.
You're right. 40-something. 48, I think it was.
Yeah.
Who was that? Uncle Willie?
No.
Who was it?
One of the great-granddads or something.
Oh, man, I have to look that stuff up, man. But
and they said they were dying from like hypertension or something like that.
Yep. You know what? I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't last long. We don't last long in this mug. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So, and the only way, and you, you 50 years old, you 51.
Yeah.
So you already. I mean, I hate to say it, you're an anomaly because you're beating it, but you in the danger zone.
Exactly.
And I because you just had a hospital visit, didn't you?
Yeah, I just had the hospital visit. I'm fortunate enough that when they went in, they actually were prepared to do a surgery. And then when they had to go inside and do some type of x-ray, and, shout out, I went to Emory in Atlanta. And, again, it goes back to privilege. I can come from Florida in my Florida condo and go to Emory in Atlanta. So I'm not going to deny my privilege. If I got privilege here, I'm going to have privilege over there. And they went in, and then they saw that I didn't really even have any blockage around my heart. When they put some tubes all the way up my arm to go all the way up to my heart. And actually, from this arm, so it was the opposite side of my heart, put a tube all the way up and went and took video and stuff, and were inside of my heart, an internal x-ray basically. And they said, man, your heart looked good. They said, you don't really have any clogged arteries. You good. They said, so whatever the issue is, it's something else. And they said, we have to check for nerve damage, something like that. It could be anything. But right now, they just give me a little medicine and say, yeah, we'll just keep that so your heart stays regulated. So, and they say it's actually not even that uncommon. Once you reach over 50 years old, people start have, because they say it's just aging. It has nothing to do with me being unhealthy because, I don't drink really. Yeah. I don't smoke. I don't do recreational drugs. I've never done recreational drugs in my life. And regardless, my wife is always talking about how I need to eat. Babe, don't be eating that. Babe, don't be eating that. And she still say I eat bad because I might eat a piece of sausage for breakfast maybe a couple times in a month. But she don't want none of that shit. I might eat some bacon, every few months, or it take me a long time. I'll buy a pack and then it lasts me 2 weeks, and then I don't eat bacon again for another 3 months. So I mean, I guess with all of that and all the salmon she got salmon going tonight, so I'm gonna have to get off so I can get some. But all the salmon she has me eating and the beans and all that, that's what our sisters are supposed to do. They keep their men healthy, because she said she wanted me to live a long time. She just said that to me today. She said, look, baby, I need you to live a long time. So she's going to make sure of it. And instead of doing like our dads and our granddads, eating all them pig ears and pigtails and chitlins and hog mogs and anything that's bad for you that they can stick in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure we watch that. So like you said, the foods that we eat, it's important that we make sure we keep our bodies healthy and keep our bodies strong as possible and keep all those toxins out of our bodies.
Yeah.
And hey, Courtney, I'm not gonna stay on long again for you guys who did come on, and I want you to share this video. I want you to like this video, leave comments below, follow Buckner Family Travels, because again, this is a channel where Darren, Rochelle, my son, brother Malcolm, and our 2 dogs, we're heading to South Africa for 2023. And the reason why I'm doing these little videos right now is because I'm talking about the obstacles and some of the things that African diaspora might go through. Make sure if you're seeing this video later, make sure you leave a comment and let us know some of the things that you might have seen or some of the things you might have gone through trying to get to the continent. And for the people on the continent, let us know, let us know your opinions and your thoughts about us coming to the continent, especially when we talk about things like health issues. People like my brother who's plans on leaving the country.
Yeah, man.
I got a feeling he's going to be in Africa, because I don't know if he catch the SA bug like I did, or the Ugandan bug, or the Kenyan bug, or the Tanzania bug, or the Zanzibar bug. You know what I'm saying? All them bugs I've been catching, I just catch bugs. And I'm like, I found a way, man, I can stay here. And if you catch a bug like I did, bro, you're probably going to want to stay. So anybody who knows about that, anybody that's been through some of the things he's been through, hey, man, make sure you leave a comment below. And I'm going to make sure my email is in here to make sure you guys can reach out if you want to share something. If anybody out there ever wants to get on live and just talk about their experiences of heading to the continent, I'm going to make sure I shoot you an email and just let me know. And we'll do a live. This is YouTube. It is a beta program that YouTube is trying. I mean, we can do this on other platforms, other ways, but I wanted to try the one-on-one conversation because sometimes I think it's more personal and we can get more out of one person. So Courtney, I appreciate you coming on, man. I really do appreciate you sharing your story. I know it's a private story in some families, but in this generation, we need to quit all that, don't we?
Right.
Yeah.
We got to share information. That's the only way we're gonna ever get ahead. So
and get better too.
That's it, brother. So, hey, man, you know, Courtney, this ain't the last time I'm talking to you, but YouTube family, I am getting off right now. It's been about 40 minutes. If you watch 8 minutes, you did good, because I already know the average watch time on YouTube is actually only about 29 seconds. Can you believe 29 seconds? That's crazy, 29 seconds. But my videos are averaging between 8 to 12 minutes. So I know we're giving some good content. So if you haven't watched some of this other stuff and you haven't looked at the other stuff, you better go back and see what you can find, because we speak in positivity and we keep it black. You know, as the words of Dr. Boyce Watkins, and then we call it B1, and that's what we're gonna keep it. So, hey, Courtney, I'm thanking the people once again, and I thank you for coming on, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.
Right on, brother.
Right on,
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.